Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I'm coming to you tonight to bring you a card called a magnetic slider card, and I hope you really enjoy it. And before we get started, I just want to do a little bit of business to let you know that the last chance sale out of the catalog for September to December will be ending at the end of the month. So if there's anything in there that you did not get that you would like, you might want to go ahead and order that. We have no guarantees what will be carried over. There was a small carryover list, but then they also put stuff in the annual catalog, so we don't know what will be staying, but we do know that they do have this last chance list. So you might want to grab some things that you thought you might want for next year. Also, starting January 4th, we will be having our new mini catalog from January till May that will have some spring stuff. It'll have Easter, it'll have Valentine's Day, and just a lot of stuff like that in it. A lot of new stuff, a lot of fun stuff. I love it, and I hope you do too. If you do not have a demonstrator and you need a catalog, let me know. I'd be happy to send you one. Also, there's going to be a good advantage to join starting January. So if you would like to do that, I'd love to have you on my team. It's small, but we would love to grow it a little bit bigger, and we would love to have you. And also, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you did not. Please let me know what it is that I could do to make the videos better. I'm always ready to work on that a little bit. You know how that goes. You just gotta take the good with the bad and go on, and bad criticism is as good as the good things that are said. So anyway, I want you to do that, and if you could hit the share button, that would be great. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it. That way, when I do bring a video, you'll be able to see it in your notifications and be able to watch. I am going to get ready and turn the camera around. So if you get dizzy, hide your eyes, because we are going to go up. There's my messy table where we're going to be stamping. As soon as I get my phone, I want to bring that down just a little bit so that we can see a little bit. Here's all my information. If you'd like to screenshot it, you can. I'm getting my video made a little bit bigger here. So, there's all my information. It's my online store, my email address, my Facebook group, which I do put PDFs on the group of all the cards that I make. Here's the one for today with everything I used in the directions. So you can go over there, and they are all listed by the name of the video of the card, so that's always on the video. And you can go over there and snatch those files off of there if you want to have the directions. So let's move some stuff out of the way. Scoot this up a little bit. Here's our card that we are going to make. And I tell you what inspired me to do this card was this card. A couple years ago, this was a celebration set. Now, you had to have a $300 order or workshop to get it. And so we've now got this Ladybug set, which you can get the punch and the die and the stamp set for $32.25. Much better deal. So, but what it is, it's a magnetic slider. Comes out like that, goes in. And I tell you where I saw this a couple years ago. If you are familiar with Dawn Griffith of Dawn's Stamping Thoughts, she did this card. And I did it for when I was having my in-home classes, which I do not do anymore since the pandemic. So that's where the idea came from. So here's the one we're going to be doing today with this little ladybug. And she just comes out and it says, now if you notice I got black all over it today. I need to fix that. And you can fix that very easily if I can find my sandstone, my sand. Let me get my light up a little bit. There we go. You can take a sand eraser and just erase that if you have never done that. These come from Amazon, and it just takes that ink away. You don't want to rub it all the way, you know, make a hole in your paper or anything, but it sure lightens it. And that'll come all the way out. We'll put that back in. Goes right here. So it says hello, it says on the inside, my friend. Hello, my friend. And you open it, it says you can bug me anytime. And I put the flowers that I stamped on the outside on the inside. So here's what the catalogs will look at. I cannot show you the inside yet, but here's the outside. That's the mini catalog. Starts January 4th to June. The end of May, I think, is actually the day. No, it says June 30th. I was wrong, so it's June 30th, 2022 is what the back of the catalog says. Here's the celebration that will be from January 4th to February 28th. For every $50 you spend in the mini catalog and or the annual catalog, you get to pick out items out of the celebration. There are a couple things you need to spend $100 before you can get. They're bigger sets and stuff, so that's what that is, okay? So, let's get started. I started this video a while ago, my phone rang, and it ended my video. So we're starting all over again. It's the way life goes, isn't it? So I'm going to set this aside because that's what I started on. So we'll do our own. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of real red cardstock. I'm going to fold it, turn that over. I'm going to take this stamp. The stamp set we're using is called Hello Ladybug. I'm going to use 7 stamps from that. And there's a punch that goes with it, and it is the ladybug and the wings, which is here and here, with this set. So that is the set that's $32.25, okay? So I'm going to take the 3 little flowers. They're like a cluster of 3 flowers. I'm going to take real red ink, and I'm going to stamp along the outside of this. I put it on a pad just because of these being photopolymer. I usually don't do that, but with these being so solid in that, I found it easier to do that. So we're just going to stamp. And I want to get really good images on here, so. And I want something right up there in the corner, so there we go. Don't know why, but I do. And that's okay. You know. So I'm just turning my stamp a little bit and stamping. So I want to get this all the way around. Just on the outside, I don't have to worry about the inside because we have a piece of paper that's going to take care of that. And there we go. So I'm just going to put that there. And oh, before I close that, I'm going to take, this is my inside, it's 5.25 by 4. And I'm going to take and ink up my flowers real good. And I'm going to just put them in the corner here. Like so. So we are done with this real red ink pad for a few. I'm going to go ahead and clean this stamp off. Since I have 7 stamps over here, I don't want them to start stacking up on top of each other and then me get ink all over the place, which is what I sometimes do. So we've got that cleaned off and we're done with using that, which I am a happy camper about. And so we will go ahead and just stick it in the stamp case. I'm going to make sure, which I know pretty good, that my piece of black will cover that. And my black is 3.25 by 5. And what I'm going to take, I'm going to use my 1.5 inch punch, circle punch. It is retired. But most of us have circle punches, so anything close to 1.5 will be good. Or you can use some dies, some circle dies or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in to where it's about halfway. It doesn't have to be halfway. I tend to not do it quite halfway, but I try to get it a little bit even on each side, and then just punch that out. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some black dimensionals. Now, I have run out of the big ones, so I'm using the little ones. So I'm cutting pieces a little bit bigger than those dots to use on the corners of my card. So I'm just cutting around the edge of that where there are no dots, and sticking down here. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. We're going to find a way to do something, right? And I wanted to use black on here because of the paper being black, the cardstock being red, and that way I could, it wouldn't show as much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of the little ones, and I'm just going to add them down the center. Since they're little, it takes a lot. There we go. We're going to do that. And I'm going to take my pick tool and hopefully pull them off. The bigger ones are always hard to get. Well, come on. That one didn't want to come. Didn't want to stick. I just like to get it going mainly, and then I can peel it up. Stick my hands to it. The little ones are much easier to get. They usually just pull off. Yeah, I say that one, then I get one that's going to tear and stick and do all this silly stuff. There we go. So we got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and line this up on my card, and I'm going to just line it up about right there, and then just make all of my sure that that's all adhered down really good. Okay. Next I am going to bring in my scalloped, and this is the large scalloped rectangle from the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take this green leaf that is in there, well, it's a leaf, and I'm going to do it in green. I'm going to do it in Granny Apple Green. So let's ink it up. Trying to move that out of my way. So you want to make sure this is inked really, really well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down. You can rub it really well, or I have this tool that a friend sent me, and I'm just going to use that. It takes a lot of the pressure off of my hand than trying to press. And there we go. We have our leaf one there. Okay. Let me clean this big thing and get it out of the way. We're done with the green. We'll shut it. Anybody leave their stamp pads open and then get their fingers all in it? That's what I do. And I really don't like to do that if I can help it. I really like in the stamp sets that they've been doing that they put in the design so you know where you want to lay your stamps, and makes it so nice. I really, really like that. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my Tuxedo Black ink, And I'm going to use the little hello that's in the set. So we're going to ink that. And then I'm just going to put it in this corner. And while I've got that out, I'm going to stamp the inside of this piece. So let's ink that up really good. It says you can bug me anytime. I'm going to be using this one more time, but until I do that, I'm going to close it because, yep, like I told you before, it'll be my fingers that's in there. So I cleaned those two stamps. Pretty soon I'm going to have my stamps back where they go. That'd be nice, won't it? And I'm just doing this to get some of them out of my way because I had so many out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead with this. Since it's done, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the inside. That way it gets it completely out of my way. So I'm just going to take some glue. That glue must have been a little bit leaky because it just went all over my finger. So now I'm going to have gluey fingers. That's always nice. Don't know how a glue eraser would work on fingers. So let's just take this and put it on the inside. There we go. Okay, now what we're going to do with this is I am going to go ahead and put it on my card, but what we're going to use adhesive strips. Now I just checked and Stampin' Up is out of these until they're supposed to be back in January 10th. I'm taking this little piece because I know it fits really, really well down here. So that's my perfect little fit one. And then I'm going to take another piece. And what I want to do is I'm just doing, I can see those little stitch marks that's to the front of this, and that's what I'm kind of going by to put this down. And I'm going to take this up a minute. And I'm going to lay it back down here because I think I'm going to be using it in a minute. Then I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to kind of measure this one and cut a piece. If I don't get it the exact same length, it's no big deal. It's not like I'm making a shaker card to where things will fall out of it. I'm just wanting the adhesive strips stand up higher than your dimensionals, so that's why we use them all the way around. So I might take that little piece and just stick up here and cut off the excess again. I love it when you can just do these things. This piece I don't think I'm going to use. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take, because if you notice how far this comes down, it's a little, I'm going to put a little piece of the adhesive strip right across in this area on the back here, because that's going to be the stopper for my card. So I just don't want it to go all the way down to there. So I'm just going to cut a piece and lay it down here, and that should be good. So now I will peel up all of my strips, adhesive pieces. See if I can get it off better with a pick tool. There. There we go. Now they're all off of there. I put the end back on that. I don't want to jab myself. So this is going to go ahead and go onto the front right here. Okay? And what I'm doing is I'm lining this up basically these three sides. I put it up just a little further and then kind of got those side by side together. Now we're going to take this, and what we're going to use with this is, let me move all of this out of the way. We don't need this anymore. I can finish stamping what I'm going to do without it. I took a 1.5 inch circle and I cut it out of the real red right here. And I'm just going to bend that over and match the ends of it. And I'm going to lay it to the side, but I want to use it as a guide for a minute real quick. Because if I had my two pieces fixed together like this, is how they're going to go eventually, but not right now. I'm going to lay this over here. That's my guide. And then I have me here's one of my ladybugs. And I want my ladybug to be about right here. Okay? With my ladybug there and that there, I want to put the words, my friend, in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp those words in black. I don't have anything adhered down because I've got other things I need to do. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so that should have us pretty well knowing where we want to go. But here's my thing. You know, I want my ladybug to be right in this area. So I'm going to pick up just the white pieces. And since I want that there, because I have to put magnets on the back of here, and I want to know where I want my magnet to go. So I'm going to mark a line right here. I'm going to hold on to my antenna right here, turn that over, and I don't want my ladybug any higher than that right there. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it aside. We'll come back to it, and I'm going to do my ladybug. So I have two black ladybugs, and then this little red one is a template for me. And then I have one cut out of DSP. The one cut out of DSP, we are going to, stop that. We are going to cut off her antennas. I called them antlers early. I'm so used to working with deer right now, the reindeer. So I cut off her little antennas because I don't need them. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to put some glue on there. Just around the outside of her. And then I'm going to line it up on this ladybug. So I'm just going to line that up to cover that front body, okay? And then this body is going to be going right here in a minute. But what we want to do now, here's the trick on this card, or one of the tricks. We've got these little bitty magnets. They're called 5 by 1 millimeter magnets. Very strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 3 of them out, but I can't lay them close together because they're so strong they just fly to each other. So I got those 3 laid out. I'm going to take glue dots, and these are the crazy glue dots. It's on the paper. I'm going to take my tool again, and I want to put 3 glue dots on this, and I'm going to add it to her right there. So I'm going to pull up I'm going to put a glue dot there on her head, And then I'm going to put 2 on her body. So that makes 3. I could do 4. Maybe I'll try 4 on her. I didn't do 4 on the other one, and it held. But this other one that I made kind of didn't want to hold. Now, I laid these magnets down all the same way as I did when I took them off of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully pick them up and lay them on a glue dot. And I need to get me, oh, he flipped over. Gotta watch that. See, there he went. Little guys. That's why you gotta get them on their glue dot, because they just tend to fly to each other. They're crazy. Crazy little magnets are very strong. So let me pick this one up and stick it there. Okay, once I do that, I'm going to go back to my glue dots. And I'm going to stick a glue dot on top of each one of those magnets now, because that's what's going to adhere it to the other ladybug. So we're just going to take and if you want to, you can add a couple glue dots around. That's not that it necessarily stays, because but you can press on your ladybug to try to make it stay down a little bit. If it doesn't, that's okay too. The magnets pretty well hold it down. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to take and put my glue away is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the other ladybug. I'm going to pick this one up and I'm going to line them up where they'll go together. And then I'm just going to press on them. Make sure that I really get those down really well. Now here's why I didn't put this down. I'm going to take, and I want my ladybug about right here. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that over, and I can feel where those magnets are. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark circles in the area where I feel that they are. So there we go. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. I'm going to put glue dots down on my pencil marks. And I did the pencil marks. It just kind of helps me if I make my ladybug first and then finish this part up, because then I know where I need my magnets to go, because we're also going to put magnets on this side. Okay, so there we go. Now let's get 4 magnets. So I'm going to take 4 magnets and I'm going to lay them down. And this one right here bounced, so I am going to get another one, because I want to make sure they're all going the same way. Okay, that's all the magnets that we are going to need. So you can use 3 to 4 on your ladybugs, or you can do this with flowers or whatever you want. Now I'm going to take my pick tool and I'm going to put them down on there. And I have found this thing is really easy to do this with than trying to do it with your fingers. So there we have the magnets down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a glue dot again. And I'm just going to put it up here at the top, like right here. Okay? I'm not going to put it at the bottoms to hold the bottom down. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to just add it here to my, and that's just holding it down at the top. I'm going to press that. I'm actually going to take this little tool and I'm just going to rub. And I don't want to tear her antlers off, but I want to rub those good too. Okay, so I have that rubbed good, and there they are on that. So I'm going to take this little, we're going to put this at the top, and I'm going to do 2 more. I use a lot of glue dots, don't I? But the reason why I'm using glue dots, I'm going to put one just right on the edge. And that's nice. I don't like these on the paper edge. They made them wrong at one time. They're back to the regular kind where it's on the roll itself. So we've got that done, and then I'm going to squirt just a little bit of glue in here. And that's just to hold this. You're going to put it on both sides because it's going to be on the front and the back. So let's take this, if I can get my fingers on it, and we're just going to lay it up here, kind of make sure that it's even. And then I'm just going to lay it down. Whoa, throw things around. This really does save my fingers. I like it. Okay, that's all down. Now our ladybug will just stick on there. Oh, we got to make her wings. And I almost forgot that the last time. And what I do with my little scrap of paper that was laying here, I probably knocked it on the floor, knowing me. Or somewhere. Because it was just here, and I just made sure it was here. Let me find it real quick. There it is, laying under the card. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the same way it's going to go into the punch. So what I'm going to do is put it, this little grooved part is going to go, or the top of her wing, toward the edge. We're going to use real red for that. I want to get that a good solid ink. And I'm going to stamp that right there on the edge. Good color. And I just stick my finger in it. That's nice. I tell you, I do crazy things all the time. Then we are going to take the black and we're going to ink up the little spots. And those will, they line up really nice over the stamped image. And there's our little ladybug spots. So I will show you. You just want to use your punch. You're going to just lay those in there. This punch is really nice. It lines up pretty evenly. If I can see it, it does. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to take some glue. And I'm just going to glue across the top and down the inside of the wing a little bit. If you can see that, it's just kind of across the top and down because the outside of the wing kind of flares out. Let's take her off of there real quick. And we'll just hold her and put her little wings on her. Whoa, there she goes. And then if I just, you can see how she'll just catch on there. So, okay. Before, well, let's go ahead, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to slip this in. And line that up with my top there for my card. And she is on her magnet. So there she is. So she'll just slide out and she'll slide back down. And to finish that off, I'm going to put some little red rhinestones down here on the leaf. And that is the finished card. Isn't that cute? So it says, "Hello, my friend. You can bug me anytime." And then she just slides back down in between that. And that will line up right at the top of your card there. Okay? So that is how you make a magnetic slider card. Now you could use this with a lot of different stamps. You could do flowers on there. You could use, if you like, the sea stamps. You could put a fish or something on there and slide it up. You can do so many different things with it. And it's a fun card to make. It's not that hard. And once you make one or two of them, you'll be making them just like crazy. You won't think twice about them. So there are my cards. I hope you enjoyed it. And please, leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you feel like I deserve on that. And that is much appreciated. And one more thing before we go. I forgot to say this. I'm sorry. This little flower here is this flower here, which will punch out of the medium daisy punch. And this has been in our catalog for a while. But there it is. It punches off just a tiny bit of the color, but it makes this flower if you want, so you wouldn't have to fussy cut it. So I did want to tell you that. It doesn't say in the catalog that this matches the flower, but it does. So I wanted to let you know that. Okay, so I will be coming back, hopefully, with a video soon. Not for sure what I'm going to do, but, we're going to get going on this stuff and maybe start making some more cards. So until then, I hope you guys have a nice holiday as far as the new year. Be safe and be blessed, and Happy New Year to you. Thanks and bye.